Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. What I have on this table here is a project engine that I've been working on for the last 2 years. And what this is a Clinton model B-761, and it's got a couple of issues. One is it doesn't have any spark, so I'm looking for an ignition coil for it. The second issue that it has is the fuel tank needs to be soldered, and that's no big deal. I'll just solder that with my soldering iron. But other than that, before I do that, I figured I'd take a look at the internals of this engine and make sure it's worth fixing up and there's no real serious issues with it. So far everything looks pretty good. So I popped this sump cover off, and I wanted to take a look at some of the internals in there, and everything looks good. The bottom of the cylinder looks real good. The gears on the camshaft and the crankshaft look pretty good. And there was some sludge in here that I wanted to get cleaned out. Hopefully, sorry about that, you guys can see that. I got that all nice and cleaned up. Got the gasket scraped off of here, and got the gasket scraped off of here. And everything is cleaned up, and this sump is ready to be reassembled. So what I did is I had some gasket material, and I made a gasket for it. It's just about 1/16 of an inch thick. So what I'm gonna do is just put that on there just like that, and that is a perfect fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bolts here, take that gasket back off of there, and I'm going to put these bolts back in here. Where's my other one? There it is. Okay, so I got those in there so that when I put the gasket on and I put the sump cover back on the bottom of the engine here, it'll hold the gasket in place. So take the gasket here. You got to pay attention too, because I cut out a little notch right there. And there's that little notch right there on the bottom of the engine block. So you want to make sure that that goes on in the right orientation, just like that. So now we'll go ahead, we'll take, put that right up to the engine, just like that. Okay, so on these old Clinton motors, these two, depending on if you're working on one also, these two bolts, for me, on my engine, those are 5/8 bolts. You don't need any type of sealer on the gasket. You don't need any Loctite on the bolts. You can put some on there if you want to. I'm not, because it's got lock washers on it. So I'm not sure what the torque specs are for these sump cover bolts. So I'm just going to just kind of snug them up to what feels comfortable for me. Just kind of back and forth here until I get a good amount of resistance on both of these bolts. So this one here feels pretty snug. That one right there feels pretty snug. Go a little bit more on this one. Okay. Double check them. Okay. All right. So that's about it for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the camera off, get this engine flipped up. Well, I guess I'll just show you. This is what we're working on here. This is the gear reduction unit. There's the exhaust back there. There's the ID tag. So let me get this flipped up and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got it flipped back over, and there's another look at that tag. So you can see the numbers on there. That's B-761 CODC, serial number 2498853. And what's neat about this is it's got the valve clearances on it and the spark plug gap. So there's a look at the front. I got the complete ignition system pulled out of this. Like I said, the coil tested bad, so I got to try to find a coil for it. It's got a new spark plug on it. So anyway, set the camera down here, and the next thing that I want to do with this motor here is we'll get this turned around here. I want to pull this off, and I want to see what we got going on here. Sorry for my hand in the way. Go ahead and get that pulled off of there. We'll see what we have inside. So looks like we got a dead bug of some sort. Got some cobwebs in there. Here's the cover. too bad. I have to get a set of feeler gauges and roll this engine over and check those valve clearances and see if they're within spec. And another thing too that I've been going through on this motor here is the carburetor for it. So I got the bowl all cleaned up and everything in here looks pretty good. You can see the float sits pretty level. And then these screws here, it tells you which way to go so you don't you know, over lean the engine or, you know, go too rich with it. And that one's got the same thing on it. And this is a Carter Model N, so I may have to get a rebuild kit for this. I'm not sure. I won't know until I put gas in it if any of those gaskets in there or seals are any good. So other than that, see on this gear reduction here, put your oil in right there, and then your oil level is not right there, but right there. I already pulled that screw out and there's nothing left in there. So looks like it was leaking a little bit down there. May have to put a new gasket on that too. But anyway, that's just a little bit on this project engine that I'm working on here. So hopefully get it running pretty soon. Not exactly sure when. All depends on when I can get an ignition coil for it. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. And thanks for watching.